creative living, utilizing today's technology with the best of the past to bring you innovative ideas and up-to-date information for creative lifestyles in today's active world. With your host, Sheryl Borden.
Judy, thank you so much for being here. I've always enjoyed sewing and learned to sew when I was in 4-H and have made lots of clothes. That was actually the reason I wanted to learn to sew, so I could make clothes for myself. But it seems like to me that more and more people are sewing for home decor projects rather than for clothing. Do you find that's true?
I do, and I think the reason is because even though there are a lot of really beautiful decorative items out there in the marketplace, they don't always fit with the decor and style of your home. And so those folks who are crafty or even just a little bit crafty can, customize their decor using, things that they have in their sewing machine.
And use up a lot of scraps this way too.
Absolutely.
And you have a beautiful table set up, but let's just look at each individual piece. These are just little chair backs that are, you said they're just a square of fabric.
A little square of fabric, a little bit of fusing with a decorative element from another fabric added on, a little bit of a border on them, and now all of a sudden your chairs have been transformed.
They're really beautiful and give such color to the table setting. Then we have the placemats, and we're going to show how to make these. You call them a woven placemat. It's two beautiful pieces of fabric, so we'll show how to do those. And then we have napkins that are coordinating. They don't match, they're coordinating.
Absolutely, and they don't have to match, and that's the beauty of it, is as long as some colors pick up, then they go together.
I like that. And then, of course, we have to have a centerpiece. That's just the most important part of all. But there's something kind of unique about the way you put this all together. Why don't you explain that to us?
Well, we took flowers from the craft supply store and a decorative holder and some flower foam, and we decorated putting the flowers into the foam. But it was really very light. And, when it's on the table, the chances of knocking it over when it's really light are pretty great. So what we did was we used the poly pellets, and the poly pellets here are a weighted stuffing material that you would actually use in dolls, and we used them here to give some solidity to the table centerpiece.
So when we got tired of this or didn't want to use it any longer, then we could take the flowers out, save the pellets, use them in the next centerpiece.
Absolutely, and they're really great in a vase too, especially with a long stem. They have a little bit of a crystallized look to them, and they're an inexpensive decorating idea.
I hadn't thought about that. Well, let's go ahead and show how to make this placemat, and this is another sample of one that's made, and you have two coordinating pieces of fabric. People can pick anything they want, and this is, about 14 by 18, but I guess you could make it any size you wanted.
Right, this is a standard size. If your table is a little bigger or a little smaller, you can adjust, but the pattern is written for a 14 by 18 placemat. And what's nice about this pattern is it's not really a checkerboard. It's got some, stylizing here, and it looks complicated if you've ever pieced. You'd say, oh, all those corners must be crazy to make it, but it's really, really so simple. So if you let me show you
let's show how.
Okay, great. You're going to cut 3 pieces of fabric, 1 for the back and 2 for the tops, and the tops need to be coordinating fabrics.
Okay.
And on the top pieces of fabric, you will apply some fusing.
What type did you use?
You don't want to see that. It's a double-sided fusible web. It's a self-adhesive. You just iron that on and peel off the back paper.
And it doesn't change the feel of the fabric, but it just stabilizes it.
It just stabilizes it a little bit, gives it a little bit of a thickness to it, but not too much. And what you'll do then is you'll take the 2 top pieces, and you will, with a rotary cutter is how we did it, and a mat, you're going to cut them in 2 different directions, almost to the ends.
Almost, about an inch and a half.
Only because it makes it easier for you to weave them.
Okay.
So what you'll do is you'll just start weaving. We'll just do 1 or 2 here, just to get the idea. You'll weave them together,
Every other one goes on top, just like braiding hair.
Simple, simple, simple. And so you can just, you've got it.
I've got the hang of it here.
See, you can do this too. So we want to make sure we just kind of weave them through like that. So that just
But we might mention
really
that's part of the beauty is the way you cut these just in kind of a curved shape rather than straight diagonal lines. I like that effect.
That, and it gives you a lot of freedom, so you don't have to worry about matching things up. So once you've got them all woven together, you're going to want to run your iron over them and fuse them together.
Oh, fuse this to the top.
Yes, you're going to want to trim these off. And then align them, and then you're going to want to pin them and run your iron over them to kind of heat them together.
Sure.
And once you've done that, you'll be working in an environment like this where you've got your woven pieces. And these,
Oh, it does look beautiful when you get it all
it does.
put together.
Something a little screwy happened over here. That's the beauty, we can fix it. So you take that, and then what you'll do is when you're going to layer your pieces together, so you'll lay your bottom piece, and then you'll put yeah, you can grab that.
This would already be fused to it. So
And then you'd put your
this
piece
is a
of
type
batting.
of quilt batting, isn't it?
This is a quilt batting, and this
Very
gives your
soft.
It is. This is a cotton. This is natural cotton. You want to make sure that you use a batting without a scrim because the scrim will melt. Same with polyester. Since you're going to be using an iron, you want to make sure that your polyester, you don't have any polyester that's going to melt.
Oh, okay. So this is all cotton.
It's all cotton. And so there are several types that you can use. We're using the natural cotton today, which is why it's not perfectly white.
Okay.
It has a little bit
But
of...
it doesn't show, so that's kind of good.
It doesn't show. It's very nice and soft.
Okay.
And then what you'll do after you've layered your three pieces together, your bottom, your batting, and your top, just like this.
You just sandwich this is really what you're doing.
That's all you do. And then you're going to, with a decorative stitch on your sewing machine, you're going to just quilt right along the lines here through all three layers together.
And if you don't have a lot of decorative stitches, you could use a zigzag.
Absolutely.
That would look really pretty, too.
Zigzag is great. You don't have to have anything fancy. And then you'll trim it off to size to make sure that you're all even. And then you'll just apply your binding.
And this could have been either one of the fabrics. You just
Any one of
decide
them.
which one you have fabric left of.
That's true. Or you could coordinate it with the napkin fabric if that's
that would have been a
different.
good idea.
And so you'll just, fold your binding fabric in half and iron it so that you've got a smooth edge. And you will pin it along the front. And then you will turn it. So you can see we've got it started here. So you would pin it along the front, leaving a little bit extra in the corner.
It's just like using bias tape, a binding,
Basically,
double fold.
yes. And then you fold it over the front. And then you can hand stitch, or if you're good and you cheat like I do, you stitch in the ditch along it, and your placemats are finished.
And then we might take a look at some other examples of using different colors and different fabric combinations.
Right. See, some simple
really
little
bright
change.
and pretty.
Gives you a whole new look for summertime or springtime.
Oh, this is cute.
This is fun, kind of retro looking.
Be cute for a breakfast table, looks to me like.
Absolutely. And that's it. You can have breakfast, lunch, and dinner settings.
You could. Oh,
Aren't
that's
they cute?
Uh-huh.
Very fun.
And there are so many cute fabrics with the coordinating, like to make the napkins or to make a table runner.
Absolutely.
And for the holiday season, you're not left out. You could do Christmas. This is 4th of July, I suppose, but you could just do it for any holiday and have your own set of placemats, runners, napkins.
Absolutely.
How fun. Well,
Isn't that
thank you
great?
so much for showing us how to
you're
do
so
this.
welcome.
I believe it's easy enough for all of us.
I think so.
Thank you.
Thank you.